Tibetan Buddhism, also known as Vajrayana Buddhism, is a rich and complex tradition that emerged in the 7th century CE in Tibet, a region located in the Himalayas. It is deeply influenced by Indian Buddhism, particularly the Mahayana tradition, as well as the indigenous Bon religion, which was prevalent in Tibet before the arrival of Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism places a strong emphasis on the concept of compassion, which is considered central to spiritual practice. The ideal of the Bodhisattva, an enlightened being who vows to remain in the cycle of rebirths to help all sentient beings, is highly revered. The cultivation of compassion is seen as essential for attaining enlightenment and benefiting others. One of the distinctive features of Tibetan Buddhism is the incorporation of tantric practices, also known as Vajrayana or diamond vehicle. Tantra is a set of esoteric teachings and practices that aim to accelerate the path to enlightenment. These practices involve the use of rituals, mantras, mudras, symbolic hand gestures, mandalas, intricate geometric diagrams, and visualization techniques. Tantric practitioners work with subtle energies within the body, channels, and chakras to transform ordinary experiences into opportunities for spiritual growth and realization. The goal of tantric practices is to achieve enlightenment more swiftly and directly than through conventional methods. In Tibetan Buddhism, the role of the spiritual teacher, known as a lama or guru, is considered of utmost importance. The lama serves as a guide and mentor, transmitting the teachings and practices to the disciples. The Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhism, is the most well-known and respected figure in the tradition. The Tibetan Buddhist tradition places great emphasis on the study and contemplation of Buddhist texts. Monastic education is highly regarded, and many Tibetan monasteries have preserved ancient texts, including sutras, commentaries, and treatises. The study of Buddhist philosophy, logic, and meditation is a rigorous and integral part of the monastic curriculum. Meditation is another fundamental practice in Tibetan Buddhism. Various meditation techniques are taught, including concentration meditation, analytical meditation, and visualization practices. The aim of meditation is to cultivate mindfulness, inner peace, insight, and wisdom. Advanced practitioners engage in advanced meditation practices such as deity yoga, where they visualize themselves as enlightened beings to embody their qualities. The use of ritual objects and symbols is also prominent in Tibetan Buddhism. Prayer wheels, which are cylindrical devices containing scrolls with prayers or mantras, are spun to accumulate merit and blessings. Prayer flags, inscribed with prayers and mantras, are hung in high places, allowing the wind to carry the blessings to all directions. Mandalas, intricate and colorful sand paintings, are created and then ceremonially dismantled to symbolize the impermanence of all phenomena. Tibetan Buddhism faced immense challenges during the Chinese occupation of Tibet, which began in 1950. Many Tibetan monasteries were destroyed, and numerous Tibetans, including the Dalai Lama, went into exile. Despite these challenges, Tibetan Buddhism has spread to various parts of the world, and Tibetan Buddhist centers and monastic institutions can be found internationally. Today, Tibetan Buddhism continues to be a vibrant and evolving tradition. It has attracted practitioners from different cultures and backgrounds who are drawn to its profound teachings, rich rituals, and transformative practices. The Dalai Lama, through his teachings and advocacy for peace and compassion, has become a global symbol of wisdom and compassion, inspiring millions of people around the world. Here are some unique about Tibetan Buddhism. Lineage and reincarnation. Tibetan Buddhism places a strong emphasis on lineage and the concept of reincarnation. High-ranking lamas are believed to be the reincarnations of past enlightened masters. The recognition and identification of these reincarnated lamas, such as the Dalai Lama and the Panchen Lama, involve complex rituals and practices. Monasticism and retreats. Monasticism is deeply rooted in Tibetan Buddhism. Monasteries play a crucial role as centers of learning, meditation, and spiritual practice. Tibetan Buddhist monks and nuns devote their lives to the pursuit of spiritual awakening and are known for their discipline, extensive study, and rigorous meditation practices. Retreats, lasting from a few days to several years, are common for practitioners to deepen their spiritual practice. Treasure teachings. Terma. Tibetan Buddhism has a unique tradition of terma, which are hidden or concealed teachings. These are believed to have been hidden by enlightened masters in the past and are rediscovered by future tertans, treasure revealers, through visionary experiences or hidden texts. These terma teachings serve to revitalize and enrich the tradition, providing specific instructions for spiritual practice and guidance for the present time. Sky burials and death rituals. In Tibetan culture, sky burials are a traditional way of disposing of the deceased. Sky burials involve exposing the body to vultures and other scavenging birds. This practice is rooted in the belief in impermanence and the transitory nature of life. Tibetan Buddhism also incorporates elaborate death rituals and practices to guide the deceased through the bardo, intermediate state, and into their next rebirth. Tibetan Buddhist art and iconography. Tibetan Buddhist art is renowned for its intricate and vibrant thangkas, scroll paintings, statues, mandalas, and murals. These artistic expressions serve as visual aids for meditation, conveying complex spiritual concepts and depicting enlightened beings and deities. The art often incorporates symbolic imagery, such as the lotus flower representing purity or the mandala representing the universe, to facilitate spiritual understanding and transformation. These unique aspects contribute to the rich tapestry of Tibetan Buddhism, making it a distinctive and captivating spiritual tradition. While Tibetan Buddhism encompasses a wide range of teachings and practices, it does have certain elements that can be considered mysterious or esoteric. Here are a few intriguing aspects. Secret teachings. Tibetan Buddhism has a tradition of esoteric or secret teachings that are not openly shared with everyone. These teachings, often reserved for advanced practitioners or initiated disciples, delve into profound philosophical concepts, advanced meditation practices, and secret rituals. The secrecy surrounding these teachings adds an air of mystery to certain aspects of Tibetan Buddhism. Tantric practices. Tantric practices within Tibetan Buddhism are often considered mysterious due to their complex symbolism, rituals, and use of energy manipulation. These practices involve the visualization of deities, recitation of mantras, and engagement of intricate rituals to transform ordinary experiences into extraordinary spiritual opportunities. The details and intricacies of tantric practices are typically shared within close-knit communities or under the guidance of qualified teachers. Tertans and hidden treasures. Tertans are individuals believed to have the ability to discover hidden treasures, terma, containing secret teachings and sacred objects. These treasures are said to have been concealed by enlightened masters in the past and are meant to be discovered during specific periods to benefit future generations. The process of discovering and revealing terma is considered mysterious and is accompanied by spiritual visions, dreams, or other mystical experiences. Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodol, is a text that serves as a guide for the deceased during the intermediate state between death and rebirth. It provides instructions for navigating through various stages of the afterlife and offers insights into the nature of reality and the process of liberation. The book's content and rituals associated with it can be seen as mysterious and intriguing. Esoteric practices for liberation. Tibetan Buddhism incorporates advanced practices aimed at achieving liberation within a single lifetime, known as Dzogchen or Mahamudra. These practices involve direct realization of one's true nature or primordial mind. The methods used in these practices, such as direct pointing out instructions from a qualified master or the exploration of one's own awareness, can seem enigmatic and require deep personal experience to truly understand. These mysterious aspects of Tibetan Buddhism contribute to its allure and fascination for practitioners and scholars alike. However, it's important to note that not all aspects of Tibetan Buddhism are secretive or mysterious. The core teachings of compassion, wisdom, and the pursuit of enlightenment are accessible and widely shared with the aim of benefiting all beings. Tibetan prayer flags carry deep symbolic meaning and are a visual representation of the aspirations for peace, compassion, and the well-being of all beings. They serve as a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all life and the potential for positive transformation through spiritual practice and virtuous actions. Prayers and mantras. The flags are inscribed with various Buddhist prayers, mantras, and sacred syllables. The most commonly seen mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum, which is associated with the Bodhisattva of compassion, Avalokiteshvara. The repetition or visualization of these mantras is believed to invoke the qualities and blessings associated with the enlightened beings and the principles they represent. Elemental balance. Tibetan prayer flags represent a harmonious balance between the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Each element is represented by a specific color: blue for sky and space, white for air and wind, red for fire, green for water, and yellow for earth. The colors and their placement on the prayer flags are believed to help harmonize and balance these elemental forces in the environment. Wind horse. Tibetan prayer flags often depict the image of a galloping horse, known as the wind horse or lungta. The wind horse symbolizes the power of the wind to carry prayers and blessings to all directions. It is associated with good fortune, success, and the fulfillment of aspirations. The fluttering of the flags is believed to activate the wind horse, amplifying its positive energy and carrying it to the world. Protection and prayer. Hanging prayer flags is considered a virtuous act and a form of spiritual practice. It is believed to create a protective and auspicious environment. The prayers and mantras on the flags are intended to benefit not only those who hang them but also all sentient beings. The act of raising and hanging the prayer flags is accompanied by prayers, intentions, and dedications for the well-being and happiness of all. Impermanence. Tibetan prayer flags serve as a reminder of the transient nature of existence. The wind gradually erodes the fabric, causing the prayers and mantras to disperse and fade over time. This process symbolizes the impermanence of all things and the continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It encourages an awareness of the present moment and the importance of cultivating positive intentions and actions in each fleeting moment.